Hello and welcome to the Infinite Creators Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I am your host, Chloe, and I want you to know that my intention behind this podcast is and always will be to expand your heart and your mind and help you discover new ideas, thoughts, and ways of being. I hope that with each episode, you leave this space feeling inspired, filled with love, and ready to take action in creating a life that is worth living. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope that you enjoy this episode. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Infinite Creators Podcast. It's been a while since I recorded an episode only because I've been so busy working on a really incredible project with my business partner and best friend Hollie, and I thought what better way to record a fresh new episode than to talk about that project with you and bring Hollie on and have a chat. If you listen to my podcast frequently, you would know Hollie from our episode about polyamory and relationships and conscious love. So if you haven't listened to that one, check it out. But we have Hollie today on the podcast, and her and I are just going to have a chat about Nomad Emporium, our latest passion project, and what it's all about, why we created it, who it's for, and how it can serve you. And I think even if you're not interested in the course or you don't have any idea what we're talking about, this podcast will still serve you and will try and provide a lot of value and inspiration and even motivation for the new year and to get started and just stop delaying the progress of your dream life. So welcome, Halls. Happy to have you back.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me back on your glorious podcast. I'm so excited to talk about everything that we've been up to behind the scenes.
It has been a whirlwind.
So much going on.
Yeah, so I'll let Hollie give, I feel like Hollie gives a really good summary of Nomad Emporium, but if you don't know what it is, we'll give you a brief summary and then we'll just obviously go more into depth of how that all looks.
Yeah, cool. So let's just go straight into what Nomad Emporium is. So we have created a 12-week live course, which is all about turning your passion and your vision into something that's like prosperous, like a career for you. So you can really like align what it is that you love, that you're curious about, your interests, into something that can actually earn you an income and create a lifestyle for yourself that feels really aligned and authentic to you.
Yeah. And the way that we're doing that as well is the way that we're able to do that is because Hollie and I have almost curated this like success formula of entrepreneurship and working online and being this digital nomad. And me and Hollie have been through the trenches ourselves. We've worked and built a 6-figure business from the ground up with zero expertise or knowledge or how to do that. And now that we're working in this field and we are a digital nomad, we see what you need to become that digital nomad, to embody that lifestyle and to run a successful business. And we realize that those fundamental things and skills that you learn are kind of across the board for all business. Like if you can lay this foundation that we're teaching in the Nomad Emporium course, you can kind of find success no matter what your passion is.
Yeah, totally. I mean, like you said, we've over the past few years individually and then kind of alongside each other have done all the kind of heavy, frustrating work ourselves, just because when we started out on this journey, it's because we wanted, we had a vision for our future and we wanted to be our own bosses and things like that and live the digital nomad life. But we literally had no idea like how to start, like how to move forward. So we took like heaps of messy action. And I think probably did a lot of things wrong and like didn't work. We failed a lot and tripped up and learned from our mistakes. And we were going to different sides of the world or emerging ourselves with different groups of people and going to different events, trying to rub shoulders with the right people to get those little snippets of information and wisdom that could help us take those next steps. But if we had had something compacted with only the good stuff in there, that would have cut that time in like half, if not more than that, you know?
If only. So yeah, I guess to backtrack a little bit, the reason we decided to create this course in the first place just was birthed at a conversation at breakfast. And Hollie and I were just saying, like, wow, we really don't give ourselves enough credit. Like, we do have so much knowledge and so much expertise in this field, and luckily we are surrounded by so many people who have the same attributes and the same characteristics, and so we're able to learn from them and really master our craft. And Hollie and I were like, why don't we create something that could help everyone, not just one person? We're not selling you a business, we're not selling you a product, we're not doing something that's specific to one person, you know? Like, we're wanting to help as many people as possible that want to create this dream lifestyle that is however you look, you know, however a dream lifestyle looks to you.
Yeah, I mean, with our kind of business models that we had before, which were amazing, but I mean, it wasn't for everyone. We kind of felt like we were hitting this like barrier where like we have because so much of what we were doing with that business model was around these principles that we've included within Nomad Emporium. But like, we weren't able to kind of share that in an efficient way with people who didn't want to do that specific business model. Yeah,
we felt limited in who we could help.
Exactly. So to be able to put all of these principles and the skill set and everything into one place is literally like a game changer.
It's a dream come true. And the thing that's so cool about it is, like, when me and Hollie we decided, like, all right, we're creating this course, it's going to be amazing, let's do it. Like, let's commit and let's just full send. We knew when we were starting that there was so much to do, but we were like, let's just let's reverse 2 years and put ourselves in the shoes of Chloe and Hollie 2 years ago. What would we have needed 2 years ago? What would we have wished that we had, you know? And then, like, the ideas were flowing. Like, we were in Hollie's living room and we had sticky notes and a Sharpie and we were literally just flowing with ideas, like, oh, I would have needed this, I would have needed this, I would have wanted this, I would have loved to have learned this. And it was just so cool because that's why, like, we know this course is going to be so incredible for someone who is starting from ground zero, because we put ourselves at ground zero to create it and thought, what can we give to people that we wish we had 2 years ago?
Yeah, 100%. And it definitely took a lot of kind of just feeling back into that space of like where we were like 2.5 years ago, however long it was when we were starting out, and really feeling into those emotions and remembering, because I think, you know, once you start to go on this journey, kind of you're constantly evolving and changing. So to then go back and really like embody where you were at when you first started, because I know that feeling is not just unique to you and I.
Yeah, it's all across the board.
Yeah, because our friends who we're surrounded by now who have also been on the same journey felt the exact same way, and I know numerous people that feel the same way. So if that's just in our immediate like sphere, like I know there's so many people like us out there who are feeling that way we did 2 years ago. And what was that feeling? It was feeling stuck, feeling hopeless. Like, for me at least, I knew I had this like vision of the type of life I wanted to be living, the freedom I wanted in my life, the kind of purpose behind it. Like, I knew I wanted to like help people or help the planet in some way, or
promote something that you feel
something that felt
about.
Really good to me. And I wanted to have the freedom to be my own boss and not showing up and doing the 9-to-5 things. It just really did not make me happy. So I had this vision, but I literally was like, does that even exist? Like, how?
Yeah, like, how is this possible?
How do I actually make this possible? And I kind of see people online doing it, so I know it must be possible, but like, where do I start? Like, literally, where do I start?
And the thing is that there's nowhere, like, unless you happen to stumble across someone's Instagram, like now Nomad Emporium's Instagram, or you know someone who knows someone, it is really hard to seek like where to start and where to begin, and if this opportunity exists. Like when me and Hollie were brainstorming about Nomad Emporium and, you know, the things that are available on the internet, how can we separate ourselves from that? When you Google how to make money online, the results that you get are comical.
It's not helpful at all. Like, I literally know what they are off by heart, because I would sit there
and I'd be like, nope. Nope, that's not gonna work.
I would literally
Not
sit
sustainable.
there at my old jobs when I'm supposed to be like working. I don't know even what I was supposed to be doing most of the time, but like I would literally just like Google like how do I work online, like how can I live in Bali, like
like how to make money
and
easily.
how can I be like a full-time backpacker or whatever it is, and the options that come up are like teach English,
write reviews or something.
Write reviews
for like different websites and shit.
Yeah, become like a blogger, which I can tell you is not. Anyway, moving on.
Fast blogger.
What was the other one? Become a virtual assistant. For who?
Walk dogs. There was one that like
dogs.
someone literally made. Like,
be an au pair.
Yeah. And like maybe that's your jam.
Yeah.
Fine.
For a period of time, that could be a fun experience.
Give it a whirl. Like try walking dogs and let me know how making a full-time income comes out.
Yeah, maybe that's your dream and that's so fine. That's amazing. But like, you know, for the real freedom that we were seeking, like the time freedom, the location freedom to go wherever we wanted, the financial freedom to, you know, all these things that we so desired.
Yeah.
Like those options aren't realistic, and they're not sustainable. And it wasn't in alignment with, you know, I felt like I had so much more to give and like a bigger impact I wanted to have.
Yeah.
And those didn't.
I was like, this isn't it. Like, how will I do it? And luckily, Hollie and I both stumbled upon like the business opportunity that we do now on the side. And that was great, but we're not here to talk about that today. So, that aligned with all of our passions. And then it just kind of merged into this realization that there are so many people that crave this and that want this and that are desperate. I was desperate for change. I needed to quit my job and I had no idea how to make an income and travel. I had no idea.
Yeah, I just had this like overwhelming feeling inside that like I can't keep doing this for the rest of my life.
At your core, you can feel it in your gut, in your heart, in your head. I can't.
It's like I can't do this anymore. Like it's literally line in the sand moment. Like I can't accept this anymore. Like I need to try. I'd rather try and fail and try again and fail than just sit here and accept that like, oh, I guess I'll just do this then. Like it's easy, inconvenient, and it's not what I want to do. Like I just couldn't do that anymore.
Yeah. And those are the people that we want to work with the most. Yeah. Are the ones that just feel like they're on, like they've had their line in the sand moment. They know that they want different. They know that they want more. They know that they have so much to offer, but they are feeling stuck. They're feeling like hopeless in a sense because they don't know what to do. And then we want to come in with this course and just turn on all the switches in your head, you know?
Yeah.
And just really turn gears that just make you unstoppable and just feel really confident in your ability. Like this is possible. It is.
Yeah. And just giving you the information, the skill set that you need to actually know how to take steps forward. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. And we cover so many bases. Like that's why we made it 12 weeks because it really couldn't be any shorter than that. We had so many like topics and lessons, and there's so much to it. It's so multi-layered because it starts with your mindset. It starts with the belief in yourself. It starts with your relationship with money. And until you can cover that and create that foundation, there is nowhere to build.
Yeah, so that's the kind of idea behind the 12 weeks is to initially build a strong foundation within your mind and your belief system, like Chloe just said, because if you don't have that, you won't be able to move forward successfully. Yeah. So that's the first step, is that we're really going to dive deep, and each weekly lesson is 2 hours long. So they're really thorough, really in depth, and we really just dive really deep into these topics. Yeah. And even if you're a little bit familiar with them already, like we really go in. Yeah. And we're we have created the course lessons with a lot of interactive exercises and workshops and kind of things to while you're on the course with us in the live session, to get your gears turning, to get those light bulb moments, and to help you see, whoa, I do have a lot of limiting beliefs. Whoa, I do have a lot of roadblocks holding me back. And by the end of each week and each call, you're going to slowly just feel lighter and more sure of yourself, more confident,
more ideas will start to flow, and we're so excited for that, for people to experience that feeling. You know?
Absolutely. So yeah, those first few weeks will be really like building those strong foundations in your mind, really helping you clarify that vision even more and fine tune it. And once we have that stability there, we're not, you know, because I feel like you can have these breakthroughs and the clarity, and then you're like, okay, but now what do I do with it, you know? So we're going to then move into a space where we're actually giving you practical knowledge and business skills. So actual skill sets that you can implement, tangible steps you can take, which we'll be doing alongside you, of course, as well. And I think that's super, super important, because it's like, you can be in that right mind space, but again, it's like, what actually steps do I take? Like, what do I do?
You have to have both. And that's why, like we said, we are making it 12 weeks, because we have the mindset, foundational work, and then we have the like tangible logistics and the action steps and the softwares to use and the programs you need and how to automate, how to make things more passive. And it's just, I'm really proud of what we created, because I know that the way that we've organized it and kind of put it in this order is just so key.
There is so much information. And
the thing is too, is that most people think that they can just brush off the mindset work and like, oh, like I'm fine, like I don't have limiting beliefs, like, oh, my relationship is money, it's whatever. But you don't really realize how quintessential that is to your personal life, and also your life in business, friendships, relationships, everything, until you fix that. And then you think, wow, my mindset around XYZ used to be so toxic. And that's why Hollie and I have 2 weeks in the course about money, because it is so important. And I would say, if anything, it's the most important thing I've ever done in my entire life in terms of business.
And I think that mindset section, once you really get your head around that and establish that within yourself, it will make this new journey for you
so much
easier. You'll stay consistent. When there's a bump in the road, you'll be able to navigate around that without too much complication, because your mind and your understanding of this journey in entrepreneurship and whatever it is that you specifically want to create will just be so positive and strong. Which is so key, because it's like in entrepreneurship, yes, there are bumps in the road all the time.
It is the epitome of trial and error.
Was it everyone's the phrase? It's like an entrepreneur is jumping off of a cliff and figuring out how to build a parachute on the way down, and that is like such an accurate description, I think. And I think that's why a lot of people don't do it as well.
And that's the thing, is like that fear of what could go wrong, and you know, you not being able to succeed, and all these things is also another thing we're talking about in the course, and something we really want to address, because while that could be scary, what's more scary? What's more scary? Staying in a job that you hate and that you're miserable at, and that literally makes you feel like crap every morning when you wake up, and you constantly are living in this state of complaining and not feeling good, and
or even just like feeling like it's not that bad, but like it could be better, you know, like maybe it's not necessarily like driving you crazy, but you know it's kind of like mediocre, like I'm not like,
and like why live a mediocre life when you can have anything that you want? And I think that's what I feel so passionate about sharing with everyone that attends our course as well, is just I really want people to feel limitless. I want people to understand that it is possible. Whatever you want to do, it's possible. There's nothing stopping you. You just have to find that place within yourself where you're like, I'm not going to stop until I have complete happiness. Like a lot of us have a hard time understanding that like these things are possible when we're in the trenches and when we have, of course, everyone has their own baggage and their own like negative circumstances to navigate. But at the end of the day, if I can do it, if you can do it, if anyone can do it, then you can do it too, you know? And we want to instill that feeling in everyone. That
unstoppable feeling that I totally also get that it can be like so nerve-wracking and scary to like take that step, you know, into something new, and the fear that surrounds that. And I think that's why being able to do something like this, because we did it alone, solo.
Yeah.
You know, like we were just like, I guess we're just in the dark now on our own, like trying to figure this out, and I have no one to talk to about it. Like, I don't know about you, but my family were just like, what is this girl doing?
Yeah.
Love them, but you know, I was in my own world. So to be able to have like a community, you know, being alongside other people on the same journey with you, you know, like, you know, our participants within Nomad Emporium, there's going to be tens and, you know, people around you as well as us, you know, like leading you through it. And that's why as well, it's going to be live, you know, so if you don't just feel like you're alone in your room watching a video on the screen, you're going to be interacting with people
from all over the world as well. It's so epic. That's, I mean, something that I'm sure everyone knows, this basic understanding, but I don't think, aside from mindset, I think the second most important thing when working through entrepreneurship and starting a business, etc., is having that sense of community and support. And unfortunately, so many of us lack that. It is hard to find like-minded friends. It's hard to find, or it's hard to have your family members or your parents who are from a different generation understand the importance or the possibility behind working online. Because for so many of our parents or whoever, they struggle, they don't understand, and so they don't want to support you, or they feel confused. And so that's something we really want to cultivate within Nomad Emporium, is this sense of community and bringing people together, helping people feel supported, giving them that accountability, and then you just feel unstoppable at that point.
And it is so important to surround yourself with like-minded people that when you share your dream with them, they're like, oh yeah, 100%, you know, like sweet, like how can I be of help, or like I'm doing something similar, cool, yeah, let's do it together, instead of being like, oh yeah, right, like dream on, like be realistic. Like I had so many people around me being like, Hollie, be realistic, and I'm like, I am being realistic. Stop like
I don't
stepping on my
be
dream.
Realistic.
Like don't step on my dream, man. Like and then to start surrounding myself with similar minded people, they were like, when I would share my dream,
they're like,
or even they'd just be like, oh yeah, sure, sweet, like of course you're gonna do that.
Exactly.
You know, it's like
you don't even realize that there's people like that you know, like for me, I could tell, let's say my goal is like to buy an island in the next 3 years, own a catamaran, live sustainably on my land, be earning 7 figures, and have 3 children. And some people could be like, okay, good luck with that, like have fun. And my closest friends would be like, yeah, that's like 100% happening. That's gonna be your reality.
Sweet, like you want some help picking out which catamaran, like
exactly. So it feels so good to have that support, and we want to extend that to everyone who attends our course. And we're really going to work through diligently and making you feel as supported as possible, not only when you're taking the course, but as the course finishes as well, and onwards. We're really looking forward to how this will all conspire, and we know it's going to be so much bigger than we can even imagine at this moment, but we have a big vision for all that we'll cultivate in this space.
100%. And I'm glad you just mentioned that, because I was going to say, after we kind of have given you the mindset and then the skill sets and that knowledge towards the end and after as well, we're going to give you like this actual kind of ongoing like action plan, you know, so you know what to do next. You know, once you've accumulated all this skill set, you're actually going to know like how to implement that. And we have a few exciting things up our sleeves as well that will be shared with those who do the course towards the end, that will enable you to continue to feel supported and continue to feel like you're educating yourself in a really epic way, which I really want to tell everyone, but I can't.
Can we?
No, I don't think we should.
Really?
No. We'll save it for the people.
Okay. Well, just so everyone listening knows, it's really so exciting. But we have an additional part to the course and to our platform, Nomad Emporium, that we're just so excited about. I truly have never heard of anything like it on the internet, and I would be surprised if something like it exists. But it'll be available to everyone who attends our course, and it's something that follows the course that just, I don't know. I guess
it's really
we
cool.
don't want to share it because
really
it's a surprise for like all the people who attend our course. We're going to let them know about it on the last week. So stay tuned for that. But we are just, honestly, every time I tell someone about it, when I'm explaining like what Nomad Emporium is, they're like, whoa, like that's so epic. I've never seen or heard of anything like that, and I'm like, yeah.
Should we have a little brief walkthrough of what each week will be?
Yeah, we can go through that.
Let me just bring it up on my phone. So week 1 is all about discovering your purpose. So like we said, laying that steady foundation for all of the work that we're going to do together in the upcoming weeks, and really understanding your reason for being a part of Nomad Emporium and your vision for the future.
Yeah. And this is just so important, because a lot of people have messaged us on our Instagram and be like, how do you like stay consistent? How do you have the drive to, like, how are you so driven? You know, people ask me that all the time.
Yeah.
And the answer is simple. It's because I don't want to live a mediocre life, and I am so rooted in my why.
Yeah.
And if you don't understand what we mean when we say that, it's like, my why is what keeps me going. My why is what gets me out of bed in the morning. My why is my family. My why is my friends. My why is my health and my well-being. My why is wanting to cherish and appreciate every living moment that I have on this planet. That's my why. Yeah. And that's enough to get me out of bed. That's enough to excite me. And we want to help you find that why.
Yeah, and it's going to be different and personal for everyone, and it's going to be even more in depth in terms of what you just shared. Like, that's just the surface level of your why, but really digging into that is going to be so key for everyone.
And we have a bunch of different exercises and really thought-provoking questions and studies and different things to share with you in this lesson that will really ignite something inside of you and just set the tone for the whole course. So that's why we made this week 1, because we feel like you can't really move forward until you have that initial like motivation and a deeply rooted mission of why you're going to move forward with this course, and then some.
Yeah, and it's deeper than you think as well. Like, you'd be like, my why is because I really want to see the world. It's like, why?
But why? And then, I want to see the world because of this, but why?
Yeah.
And, I want to do this because of this, and because of this, but why?
Yeah, so we have some really like powerful workshops and exercises to do with you guys that will really get you there.
Yeah, so that's week 1.
Week 2, overcoming yourself. So this will enable you to shine a light on all the ways that we can sometimes hold us back from really living that life that we really want and dream of. We're going to dive into the psychology of the mind and like why this even happens in the first place. And again, lead you through some powerful processes that will enable you to change the story and really make space for growth moving forward.
I think just keeping in mind that the words you speak become the house you live in, and we want to help you really master your thoughts and master your mind and overcome those beliefs.
And we all have them. We all do. Like,
and
it's just the human condition.
They're never going to go away, but it's about learning to pivot, learning to condition yourself to deal with those thoughts and to deal with those negative moments when they do come.
Yeah, definitely. So week 3 is all about confidence and comfort zones. So this is going to be a really important one on this journey. Because it's expanding your comfort zone and mastering your confidence is going to open up your world
many doors,
so many ways, and all the ways that you dream of in this dream life you want, whether it's as a traveler or whatever, and both in business and in your personal life, you know?
And having that confidence just makes you unstoppable. So that's why we want to help so much with this subject in this area, because without the confidence you'll start to doubt yourself, you'll start to believe it's not possible, etc. And this is a good one.
This lesson will really kind of help to dissipate a lot of those like fears and worries and insecurities that we all have. So week 4, which is a nice one leading on from week 3, is all about debunking fear and failure. So
this is another big one.
I mean, they're all big ones, but so this will be like breaking down fear and failure and understanding when actually it can serve you in some ways and when it hinders you, and being able to differentiate between those. Because this is something all entrepreneurs face all the time. But if you can really harness these things properly, it can actually work for you in really amazing ways.
Fear and failure is like the greatest things that can happen to you. Actually.
So it's once you can like make sense of these things, and you'll understand that fear is actually a compass.
Yep.
And
Just guiding
failure is a teacher.
Yeah.
So we're really going to dive into that one. I'm excited for that. Week 5 is employee versus entrepreneur.
Really, really important thing to recognize.
Yeah, there's a definite shift that takes place. So this will be really teaching you how to step up as your own boss and maintain consistency. So we'll help you like with things like establishing structure in your day, keeping yourself accountable, showing up for yourself, and you're going to learn how you work best as an individual, because it's different for everyone. And how you can actually leverage that to work for you even more. So yeah, they're going to be like super healthy shifts to make.
And I think the reason we chose that for a whole week's course is because we've recognized through our own experience mentoring others on how to run a business in previous projects that a lot of people struggle because their whole life they've been an employee, and no matter. So the thing with being an employee is like when you show up to work, let's say you're a server or you work in an office or whatever, most times just showing up is going to get you paid, you know? Like as long as you show up, you're on the clock now, you're getting paid that hourly wage. And it doesn't really matter. You could be like the worst employee ever. Like you're still getting that hourly wage. But when you switch to an entrepreneur, it's like you have to choose to show up. You have to choose to rise to the occasion. And you're not going to make money if you don't. So I think that's why we think this is so important, is because we want to help you transition from the mindset of an employee to a mindset of an entrepreneur, and realizing that the money doesn't come unless you show up.
And not just showing up to your desk, like really showing up and doing the work
for yourself and for your business. And of course that can be intimidating because it is a huge transition. But that's what we're going to help you with, and we're going to give you all these tools.
But it's the best one you can make.
Yeah, the best.
It's so worth it.
I will never work or be differently.
No.
The value that comes with being your own boss and managing your time, your schedule, and your finances
can be hectic.
Has its struggles, but it outweighs every con that there is 100% by a landslide.
Yeah, definitely.
In my opinion. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't.
I feel the same, but... Okay, so week 6, you're gonna like this one, Claire. Not that you don't know what it is. Money mindset.
Yeah, my favorite topic ever.
Yeah, Chloe loves this, and so do I, because it is so important. So this is really all about reshaping your relationship with money, which is a huge topic and can be, you know, a little bit like triggering and intimidating. But we're gonna share a plethora of exercises with you, which will really help you understand how skewed our connection can be with this incredible tool, which is money. Yeah,
and unfortunately, even the term money mindset is so foreign to people, or relationship with money. They're like, what do you mean relationship with money? And we're not just talking about like, oh, you're really good at putting away savings, or oh, you have a good relationship with your bank teller, like whatever, you know, like we're talking about like really thinking, feeling, embodying everything that it means to like feel good about money all the time. Never stressing
regardless
about it, never
of the number in your
about
bank account.
Yeah, regardless of the number in your bank account, whether you have $100 in your bank account, $100,000 or $100 million, we want you to feel confident in your ability to earn money, to invest in money, etc., etc.
Yeah, establishing a strong relationship with money will impact your world in the most incredible ways and allow you to impact your outside, you know, the rest of the world as well in the most incredible ways. And yeah, it's such a deep, big topic, which really is, I think, one of the most life-changing things you will ever do for yourself. Yeah, 100%. And of course, like, we're going to talk a lot about it on the course, but where the big shifts happen is in the implementation process. So like really taking it upon yourself to implement and holding yourself accountable to be on top of those thoughts that come through and those limiting beliefs around money. And yeah, we're really confident that this is the most necessary. Yeah, especially at, you know, moving into this kind of world of entrepreneurship, of being a digital nomad, being your own boss, your relationship with money will change.
Yeah.
Because again, it's like
ever
you're
evolving.
your own boss, you know, like it's the way money comes in and out of your life is different than if you're just showing up to a 9 to 5 and being given a paycheck at the end of the month. And the amazing thing about that is that the amount you earn is limitless.
Yeah.
So it's very common and usual, obviously, for that amount that you earn to expand a lot.
And that's what's so exciting about entrepreneurship is like every year your income increases if you're doing it right.
Yeah.
And mine has, so that's brilliant.
Love that for you. Which is why it is so important to establish this strong relationship with money if you're going to have a lot more of it in your world to move around.
Because there's something that's I think it's super common, and most people that win the lottery, they end up being like this random person from like Kentucky, like in the middle of nowhere. Like
Kentucky? Why Kentucky?
I don't know, just like somewhere random. It's always like a super random person. And a lot of times like people win the lottery and they like spend it all or they go bankrupt like within a year or two.
Yeah, you hear that a lot.
Because they don't understand how to manage money, and they didn't have a good relationship with money to begin with. So yeah, they may have inherited this money.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But then they just blow through it, and it's like, well, why is that? You know, there's some people you could give them $1 million and they would quadruple it. Yeah. And there's some people you could give $1 million and they would spend it all and be back to square one.
Which actually leads us on nicely into what week 7 is about, which is all about money and business.
Yeah.
So that's kind of moving on from your relationship with money to more about understanding
how to use money in a leveraging way.
Yeah, exactly. So kind of leading you into the logistical tactics and business know-how, knowledge when it comes to things like investments and sustainable income, passive income, working efficiently, things like that. Like you're saying, you could give someone $1 million and they could quadruple it.
Yeah.
So it's really about thinking like smartly about money and understanding how you can allow that to work best for you, and of course like a ripple effect, those around you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And this one's so important. I mean, I keep saying that, but they're all important. But this one's epic because it does really expand your mind in a way that makes you feel limitless and makes you feel like there's unlimited potential. Because I remember like back when I was in college and I was learning about money mindset and transitioning into this life, I didn't even like think about the idea of having more than one income stream. Yeah. Like I was just like, oh, I'm an interior designer. My salary is $25,000 a year. And great. Yeah. That's all I'll get, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And this is something all successful, wealthy people in the world know.
Yeah, and have in common.
And this is something they're all doing. So we'll definitely talk on the importance of multiple streams of income and being able to decipher between what's an asset and what's a liability to you.
And understanding return on investment as well. Like how some return on investments are going to be straight away, some are going to be over the course of 2 or 3 years, and feeling confident in that, and just really having a good understanding of that.
And I think just as well to add on to that, like getting more comfortable with like bigger numbers, because I remember thinking like, oh, if I could just earn like, I don't know, just over $1,000 a month, like that would be fine, like that would be sick, like that would be perfect. It was like, well, what if I could earn $10,000 a month? That was unfathomable to me.
Exactly. But like, why would that be unfathomable?
But it's like, so yeah, a lot of what we're going to share and the exercise we're going to do is really start expanding and opening your mind to what is possible, and it's not unrealistic. And the more comfortable you can be with those numbers, the more you're going to welcome that into your life. Yeah,
I wish I could have told myself that 3 years ago. Like, Chloe, stop being realistic.
Stop playing small.
Stop it. Like, literally, like you said, I used to there would be months where I would make like $1,800 and I'd be like, yes, I can pay my rent and have money left over. And now like that would stress me out because and not that that's like, if that's where you're at, honor that's where you're at. But to know that you can have more. Yeah. And it's not it shouldn't feel in a greedy way or like, I don't need money, blah, blah, blah. It's just for peace of mind, for security, you know?
Yeah. And maybe some of this conversation already is a little bit like ruffling some feathers with some of you who are listening. And that's exactly why
That's exactly the person that needs to do the work.
And that's exactly, because that was us too, you know?
Yeah, and I've been there.
So we know it can be like a triggering topic, but it is so important. So yeah, super excited to like dive into that one.
Yeah.
These 2 weeks especially.
I feel like those calls could go over 2 hours because I'm just over the moon passionate about it.
Yeah, it's super important.
Yeah.
Okay, so week 8, moving on from that, is going to be all about the entrepreneurial mindset. So we've already established in the beginning a strong mindset.
Versus the employee.
Yeah, and just around kind of believing in yourself and seeing your vision, all of these things. But this is definitely more specific just to being an entrepreneur, being your own boss. So we're going to teach you about really how to embody the key characteristics of a successful person.
Yeah.
Because it is something you will see reoccurs, and all these people we're surrounded with and know and see in the world have in common. It's things that they do.
Yeah.
But we'll really be sharing some like secrets and all those little things that you don't really think about that every kind of prosperous entrepreneur knows.
I'll never forget, like 3 or 4 years ago when I was sitting in traffic on my way to work, and I was listening to a podcast, don't even know which it was, but this person said, if you want to be successful, study successful people.
Yeah.
Find 3 people that you admire, you look after their life, you wish you had it, you love everything about them, you love what they stand for, and figure out, what are they doing? What are they doing on a daily basis?
Yeah.
How do they have the success that they have? Do they have a morning routine? Do they have this? Do they have that? And literally, like, I picked 3 people whose life I wanted to embody, and I figured out what they did and applied it. Because how else do you learn?
And that's a big lesson, is listening to the people that have what you want.
You desire.
And sometimes that can be hard to do, and it's something that, you know, it's always something that we're applying to the decisions that we make and the things that we do, even in the creation of Nomad Emporium, you know, like, you know, having one idea and then having that like flipped on its head by like people, you know, around us who already have had success in this space, you know, it's like, okay, like that's not what we thought, but like, yes, listen to the people who have what we want, you know, like they are successful, like I'm going to follow in their footsteps because they clearly know what they're doing.
Yeah, like they're doing something right.
They're doing something right. So yeah, really, we're going to share a lot on this and specific literally specific things that you can do and bring into your life, and you'll really learn how to think and act and operate as your most optimized self.
Yeah. And feeling confident in that as well. Like, I am here and I'm going to crush it.
Yeah, totally. Ooh, exciting. Cool. So week 9 is social media and personal branding. So this is really getting juicy into
this is where we're starting to dig into those like tangible, like you're going to be filling out 7-10 pages of notes during this course, because we're going to just dive into so much good stuff.
Totally. And this is where you're going to master the like fundamental skills needed to run like any kind of business.
Business. It doesn't matter what it is. These are the key fundamental things that get you there. You
know, obviously online means you can have the freedom to be a digital nomad and be wherever you want. So, and the world is online. It literally doesn't matter, even if you have a knitting shop or whatever it is. Social media and personal branding in the online world is crucial. Yeah. It doesn't matter what business you want to do. Yeah. Like, and you have to, and once you embrace that, then you're like, all right, well, how do I make it the best that I can? Because I want to leverage the heck out of this. And it doesn't have to be as intimidating as you think. You can go, well, I'm not an Instagrammer. Like, I'm not going to be some Instagrammer girl or guy. Like, that's not what this is about. Yeah. There's actually specific things you can do and apply and put out there that will work without you having to be some perfect Instagrammer. It really is like a simple formula, and that's what we're going to share with you, like our secrets that we've learned over the years with Instagram, with Facebook, with ads, with YouTube, with all these things that give you the confidence to understand, like, oh, if I just follow these simple steps, anyone can do this. And actually get you the results that you want. Yeah. You know? And we're going to talk a lot about the psychology of, like, branding and how that leverages your business. And I think that's really important as well, because
a lot of people struggle with that aspect, like the aesthetic side of the business and the branding and all of that. And we're going to dive deep into that as well, because we know how important it is.
And again, kind of taking that shift as well, there's a lot of shifts going to happen.
Yeah.
from like that consumer into a creator.
Yeah.
And starting to see social media less as like this thing you just scroll on and enjoy, and like leisure, as more of like an actual business tool that's gonna elevate everything for
and
you.
That's when everything shifts, when you stop wasting your time consuming all of this content hours a day, and then you shift into, I'm using this for a business tool now. And
there is so much power and impact to be had with social media, and I think a huge maybe thought that people have is that it's already been done, it's already been there, done that, it's oversaturated, and that's just not the case. Like, you have to
and that's a limiting belief.
Yeah, it is, but I can understand, it is like a huge thing these days, but that's not the case. I was going to go into it, I was like, I'll save that for the course, because we're getting too deep, but this is going to be a really, like you said, you're going to be taking so many notes, and it's going to be one you're probably going to want to rewatch like a few times,
which you will have the option to if you need.
So week 10, authentic sales. So our intention, they're all big ones, man. So this week,
I get so excited talking about
me too.
these.
I'm
like,
pumped. I just want to let's just do the lesson now and do like 100 hours long podcast.
A 12 series podcast.
Yeah,
12 week series
that's
podcast.
Cool idea. So our intention for this week, authentic sales, is to kind of debunk that slimy association people have around the idea of sales. I feel like people think of like
there are so
car
many
salesman that's like trying to like get you, and it's like, the truth is, everyone listening to this right now, you have something so beautiful and important to share with the world.
Yeah, whether it's a service or a product or...
Yeah, exactly. And you deserve to be compensated from that.
Yeah.
And so, we really want to teach you how to be able to share that gift with others in a way that is authentic and feels aligned and is benefiting both you and your customer.
Yeah, exactly. And just really eliminating the negative stigma around sales. Yeah. Because...
And also
everything is sales.
Eliminating that negativity, getting you to see it differently, but also teaching you like psychology behind sales and actually how to do it well
and authentically, and passionately, and without like a veil of illusion, and without like all these things that allow it, or that has made people feel negatively about it, getting rid of that and doing it in a way where you're confident and you're sure of yourself, and you're passionate about this product or service, and you don't even question it.
Totally.
You don't even think of it as sales at that point. You're like, I'm just sharing something that I love.
Yeah, exactly. And it's mutually beneficial for everyone involved.
Yeah.
So again, a big one, but I'm excited to dive into that, because I've definitely seen that that's something that comes up for so many entrepreneurs.
Yeah, it needed to be addressed. I don't think we could create this course without talking about it, honestly.
Yeah, agree. So, week 11. Woo!
2 weeks left.
The Entrepreneur's Toolbox.
Yeah. I just want to say also, like, by the time week 6 rolls around, we're going to be one big, happy, knit family.
I know.
And you're just going to be high-vibing, so excited every week to show up on the calls. I just know the energy in the live chat box and everything is going to be so good. So by this time, we're talking week 10, week 11, week 12. You're just going to want to be off to the races. Like, just so excited.
Like, the energy build-up's going to be huge.
Yeah,
for sure.
So by week 11, we're just going to be soaring.
Yeah. So, week 11, the Entrepreneur's Toolbox. So, this is where we really open your eyes to like a whole new world of apps, websites, tools, software, all of those things that are really going to help you facilitate, automate, and actually streamline the success of like any digital nomad venture, online venture.
And I'm so excited for this because it's hard to find the websites and the tools that everyone's using and be in the now.
We're still only discovering some like now.
Yeah,
you know?
And every day, because of all of our, I don't have any friends that aren't entrepreneurs, so like learning from others, like, oh, what are you using? What app is that? What website are you on? Like, you know, and you just
trial and error.
You learn, and sometimes when I show people, people be like, oh, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm on this, and they're like, whoa, that's a thing? I'm like, yes. How do you live without this? So we're so excited to share these things because it is hard to get those few fundamental like softwares and sites and different programs that you use to help streamline your business. And you really couldn't operate without them. Like, we live in a world now where technology is just incredible and so useful, and we want to show you how to leverage that to the best of your ability.
Dude, even on our phone call yesterday, we had a Zoom meeting with our web developer yesterday, and we were able to click around on his screen
even though he was like miles, hundreds of miles.
It blew our mind.
Yeah, so there's so many things that we're still learning, but we're obviously going to translate all of that information to you.
And I think it's important to be able to utilize these things and be efficient and optimize your working time, because a huge part of Nomad Emporium, and you know, I think something we all have in common, everyone who is, you know, becomes part of Nomad Emporium, and why we've created it is because we do desire that life of freedom.
And yet that's not having time.
Exactly. So it's like, it was my dream to live in Bali, but if I had to work, you know, 9 to 5 or more every day, and I was glued to my laptop each day,
like, what's the point? You might as well live anywhere. Like, why live in Bali, you know? Like, you have to learn to automate your time. You have to learn to outsource the things that you can't do. You have to learn to, you know, delegate tasks in a way that is time effective for both yourself and for your business. And you can do things inefficiently, and maybe you'll still make the same amount of money, but you won't have nearly as much time.
Exactly. There's really ways to streamline it.
And of course, this is a really hard thing to overcome, but one that's so important, being good at managing your time efficiently.
But will be made easier because we have everything here to show you and share with you and teach you, rather than you having to, again, like, figure it out by yourself. So yes, this is all about becoming like that guru at organization, time efficiency management,
scheduling,
avoiding procrastination, all of that. So key things to have in your toolbox.
We're super excited.
Week 12.
Week 12 is the grand finale.
This week is called the action plan.
The action plan.
So this is where it's like
wrapping it all up into a perfectly
so
packaged idea.
Exactly. So this is where we're really going to help you craft an individual and personalized action plan to catapult you forward. It's really important to us, isn't it, that we're not just like, okay, here's all the stuff, you know it now, off you go. It's like, no, like, we want to be able to help you moving forward still, even after the course. So we're going to be helping you create that detailed, structured plan, so that you know what to do over the next days, weeks, months ahead, as well as, of course, our other secret things that we'll share with you then. The important. But this is really important because it's like, we want you guys to feel supported still.
Well, we want, like, when that call is over, when week 12 is over and you shut your laptop, we want you to not be able to sit still in your seat. Because you feel just like, okay, I'm ready. Like, well, let's do it.
It's important that momentum stays. Because you've had 12 weeks of it, and it's like, this is the prime time to use all of that energy and knowledge and skill set that you've accumulated over 12 weeks and literally launch yourself. Like, this is where, like, shit, can I swear on your podcast? Shit gets real.
This is where shit gets real.
So we don't want to leave you. We don't want to leave you hanging. So it's going to be super exciting. You're going to feel super supported and, like, ready for all of it.
I guess it's kind of hard to describe how we're going to do that, but we're going to give a really good overview. We're going to give you a to-do list. We're going to have PDFs, downloads, all the things. And as we said, we're not just going to dump you off on the side of the road when the course is over. We have this secret little next step chapter thing attached to the
Yeah.
to the course.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we're going to have a community, and
Yeah.
we're going to really cultivate. I mean, I even see in our future, like, doing retreats and, like, meetups and things like that. But we're confident that beyond completion of the Nomad Emporium course, you will still be heavily involved in all that we're teaching and sharing.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the community aspect is so important, and it's not something that is going to end once the course, the 12 weeks ends. You know, we're going to have a group where you can all communicate still with each other and stay in contact and collaborate and keep each other accountable, and that's going to be a really active space moving forward.
Yeah.
You know, for like forever. Like, it's not going to stop. We want to keep that that active.
And just enabling you to make these connections. I think one of my most cherished things in my life is the connections and the relationships I have with people literally all over the world. No matter where I go in the world, I think I have a friend, like someone that I genuinely know and love, and that is just
like-minded. He gets it. He's in your corner.
Yeah, it's such an amazing blessing and feeling, and we want to give that to people. We want to gift that to people because it is just. It's such a blessing. It's
so valuable. It's going to be one of the most valuable things you get from this course, is being in a space where everyone is brought together.
Yeah, and we all maybe have different whys and visions, but the end goal is the same. Yeah. And that's just living your most authentic, beautiful, really passionate, purpose-driven life.
Yeah.
That's free.
And we're all going to feel so connected and bonded after doing,
I could cry thinking about
12,
it. I'm like so
12
excited.
weeks together, you know, of getting vulnerable, getting stuck in and learning new things together. Like, that's huge to do with other people. And a few things I want to mention that we haven't yet is that everyone will have an accountability partner. So like a specific person that you're matched with
within the course
that you can experience and share the whole thing with, and make sure that you're both showing up for each other as your best selves and really applying yourselves, and that is literally priceless. Like, that's so valuable. And something else is that each week the lesson will be 2 hours long, and then a few days later we're going to have an additional call with you guys, which is all for Q&A. So
dedicated to me and Hollie, we're all yours. Let's hear your questions on the lesson plan that we just taught.
Because there's of course bound to be things that come up, and we want you guys to question things so that you really get a deep understanding of it. That's really important to us, and it's going to be valuable for everyone, because a lot of the time people have the same questions, you know. So exactly, to be able to delegate that time and space to allow you guys to ask questions is going to be like so beneficial to everyone.
And that's the reason we crafted it this way, to have 2 calls or lessons, if you will, per week, is because the first one, we want just uninterrupted teaching and sharing and workshops and exercises, and we won't have any interruptions. And then a few days later, when we do the live Q&A every week, that's when people can come out and share. We can answer your questions. We can really get down to the nitty-gritty of those confusions or those questions or those vulnerabilities and stuff. And we're so excited for that, because we're going to get to know you so much better, and it'll be so personal and intimate. And then you'll just feel even more confident, because we'll be able to help you work through those barriers and those roadblocks.
Yeah, absolutely. And every call we do is recorded and posted in your dashboard area. So you can go back and rewatch. We're like, oh, that thing, I want to listen to what Chloe said 3 weeks ago. Like, you can go and check that out.
So I guess that's something we should talk about as well, just logistically, so you understand if you are super interested in this course, is that Monday, January 11th, we will be making the course available for purchase, and then the actual course, the live lessons, will start in the first week of February. And we haven't established a time of when the live calls will be yet, because we're waiting to see who all of our participants and attendees are, and we're going to base the time and date around the vast majority. So like if 90% of our attendees are in Europe, then we'll schedule a time that like is accommodating to them.
And we'll attempt to pick a time that works the best for
of
everyone.
Course. We'll do our best to do that.
But I'm so excited, Chloe. Like,
yeah, it's even having this conversation, and I guess we haven't even really talked.
It's been go for us behind the scenes, making everything's perfect and ready for you guys. And
yeah, so to sit here and kind of reflect on the brainstorming process and share these courses with you just feels really good. And we have all of this, the recordings and everything, we've been figuring out the best way to share this with you, the best way to display these, the best way to organize all these courses. And we have an amazing web developer, shout out Mikey.
Magic Mikey.
He lives here in Bali, he's a surfer, he's a freaking legend, and he has helped us curate and create this amazing platform and website that is just genius. Like, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And so everyone who buys the course, they'll immediately get a member login into like a dashboard, we're calling it, and that will house all of the links to join the live call when the time comes, and then all of the recordings will be uploaded there, all the PDFs and workbooks and worksheets and everything will be there, and we'll also have like a live bulletin board to communicate with one another, and it's just an awesome space, and I can't wait for you guys to see it and navigate through it and have it.
Yeah, we've really put so much thought and intention into every detail of creating Nomad Emporium, not just the actual course, the actual weekly lessons.
Yeah, but the whole user experience.
But the whole user experience, because we want from start to finish your experience with Nomad Emporium to be
phenomenal,
incredible, which I'm confident that it will be. I wish I had this 2 years ago. But
gosh, I would do anything.
Really good that I'm able to provide this for others now and share this with others, you know?
Yeah, it just feels like my duty. Like, it feels wrong to not share it, and to not, especially because I know inside of me that when we started this, we had the capability to deliver it in a way that was so effective. And now seeing it all come to fruition, and we did like a website walkthrough yesterday, and it just was like, whoa, this is so hectic. This is so cool.
And it will be life-changing. I say that so confidently.
Yeah, like, I know for a fact people are going to be like, have you taken Hollie and Chloe's course? It's amazing.
Yeah. We both feel so confident in saying that because it's bulletproof. It's, you know, the information we're sharing. It works. It works because we have done it ourselves. We are proof that it works. The people around us, we know it's proof that it works. These are the things you need to know and do to create the life you want. And I think that's amazing to even recognize that, because it just shows that, like, it is possible for anyone. So if you're listening to this right now and you're like, oh my god, it sounds like they're speaking from the thoughts inside of my mind, like, this is literally how I'm thinking right now, like, we get you. We have been there. Trust us. We know what that feels like, and we are so confident that Nomad Emporium will help you get from A to B. So I mean, we're biased, obviously, but like, I could not.
But I'm just so stoked about what we're sharing. Like, I've never been more proud or excited about what we're sharing, because I know for a fact that it's going to help so many people, and I just can't wait. It's just so exciting to share. And I think it's worth mentioning, or just briefly touching on, is that Hollie and I have not shared the course cost, the price of the course, but it was really important to Hollie and I that we made it as like affordable as possible, given the time, and like still compensating Hollie and I for all of our time and energy and love that we are pouring into this. And this is going to really, like, it has already consumed every minute of my life for the last 4 months, and it is going to continue to consume that. So we're honoring that, but we're also honoring that we want it to be an affordable price range, and we want it to be accessible to so many people.
On that topic, if you're on our VIP wait list, so
listen up,
guys. If you're like, okay, I have to be a part of this, go onto our Nomad Emporium Instagram, click the link in the bio, or just go to nomademporium.com. You can find the links underneath this podcast information somewhere, right, Chloe?
Yes.
And
in the show
just
notes.
pop in your name and email. That will put you on our VIP waiting list, because we're only taking max 100 participants for this first round, because we want to keep it intimate enough where we can really connect with you guys. But listen up, this will allow you 40% off the price of the course.
Yeah,
so
and that's huge, and it's something we want to extend to the people that are so anxious to be a part of our course and to like want that discount and want to be involved.
40% off, huge, which is really exciting to be able to offer people. So make sure you're on that list. And we're also sending out just one really cool email a week that's like a behind the scenes of me and Hollie, and providing some value there. And even if you're just, this has sparked your interest in some way, just hang out on the Nomad Emporium Instagram page, because we're sharing so much info and inspiration there alone. So I feel confident that just the Instagram page will be beneficial for you to be exposed to. And if you're thinking like, wow, sounds exactly what I need, then we highly encourage you to prioritize yourself and take action and make this the time now. Make this the time that you make that change, you make that shift, and put your future like first.
I think it's funny how perfect the timing has been that we're releasing this course at the start of 2021, and it just feels so right, the timing, like even though despite like all this like despair and hopefulness that's going on in the world and negativity, to bring this sense of community and hopefulness and new light and inspiration to so many people just feels so right. And we're so excited to just help people start this year off on the right foot. And the course will finish in the first week of May, and then you have the rest of the year to just go hard and just make it happen. And by 2022, well, that sounds so hectic to say.
I know, but
by 2022, you're going to be rocking
so
it.
Different.
Like, don't underestimate the amount of change, shifts in financially, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally that can happen in 1 year's time or in 6 months' time. And we're just so excited to see the transformations. It's going to be really, really incredible. And something actually, while we're talking about that, just to note, is that if for any reason you're not in the space or have the time to take this round of the course, so from February to May, those 12 weeks, don't worry, because Hollie and I will be doing multiple rounds of this. So we haven't just determined when the next round will be. We'll see how we go and kind of gauge what sort of recuperation time we need. But we will be doing this again and again, so don't worry if for some reason you can't attend these 12 weeks.
It's going to be an ongoing thing.
I think the first 12 weeks will be the best ones, because there will just be so much high vibes. And I just think the first one, you'll definitely, if you can, try and be on
There's
these
extra surprises involved, extra bonuses. The energy is going to be extra high. It's like...
the discount will only apply to these first 12 weeks. And so if you can, try and make this one work. Even if there's a few course dates, lesson plans that you miss, you can always catch the recording. Definitely try and hit these 12 weeks if you can. But if you can't, we're going to do it again and again and again. And hey, maybe you'll even want to take the course a second time. So don't worry there. We're not stopping anytime soon.
That's a really good point. So I think that's a really nice chunk of info all about, Nomad Emporium, what it is, start to finish, why we're doing it, why we're so excited about it. And hopefully by this point you're stoked on it too, and you can feel our energy through this.
So if you're wondering what's next,
this will be available to purchase on Monday, the 11th of January, 2021. And make sure you're following our Instagram page.
Follow our Instagram page, get on the VIP waiting list. And even if the course isn't for you at the moment, definitely follow our Instagram anyways. Me and Hollie are really devoted to creating really unique, special, inspirational content that just turns gears inside of you, even if you're not taking the course. So stay tuned, watch that space, get on the waiting list, and I really hope you're as excited as we are, and I hope this podcast helps shed some light on just why this is so important to us, and maybe helped you get to know us a little bit better. And we're really, really, really looking forward to this experience for all of you.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks so much.
We'll be working alongside some of you very, very soon.
We're super, super excited, and hopefully we'll chat to you soon.
All right.
All right, see you guys. Thanks so much for listening, and see you inside the course. Woohoo! That concludes this episode for today. I acknowledge you for taking the time out of your day to expand your level of awareness with me. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, I encourage you to rate, review, and subscribe. Also, if you choose to share it on your Instagram story, feel free to tag me at infinite.creators and let me know what you loved about it. If you wrote a review, don't forget to screenshot it and email it to me so I can send you a free copy of my cookbook or my Dream Life workbook. Thank you again so much for listening. Your support means the world to me, and I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day.